Today we're meeting with Tim and Stanley. Stanley is a 3-year-old yellow lab who came to us with aggression issues. Whenever Tim would walk Stanley past another dog, Stanley would become aggressive toward the other dog. The other problem with Stanley is probably his owners. After the first initial reaction, the owners become tight, their body energy becomes high, it becomes nervous. Stanley picks that up. He just doesn't know how to please them. Good. He speaks a dog language and they speak the language of a human, and we have to get them to understand what he's telling them. Good boy. What we're going to look to do today is to get Stanley to refocus, ignore the other dog, and pay attention to me. Once I establish that I'm Stanley's pack leader, he should obey my commands and not go after another dog. I'm going to use my dog, Iko, and we're going to walk past Iko. If Stanley decides to commit to going to Iko, we're going to correct that behavior. Stay. Let's go. So as Stanley makes the commitment to go toward my dog, Stanley's going to get corrected. Once Stanley gets a correction, we want to redirect Stanley to something positive. What I'm looking for here is for Stanley to focus more and more on me. My goal here is to say, okay, when I stop, you stop. When I move, you move. Now we're going to start to talk to him. Come here, Stanley. Good boy, let's go. Over here, let's go. Good. So what I'm looking for here is more control and less pressure. When Stanley stops, I want to relax Stanley's brain. You see how wound up he is right now? When I'm not moving, I don't want energy in my dog. What I'm looking to do now is pull Stanley's energy out. So you see his face change, his eyes drop and relax, his breathing changes, his head softens. Now we're going to move again. Let's go. The dog is only 50% of anything or anyone he comes in contact with. The other 50% would be me in this case, or the owners in the other case. When I talk to the dog, I tell him exactly what I want, what I expect, and if he doesn't do it, then I know clearly it's because I haven't done my job. So as Stanley makes the commitment to go toward my dog, Stanley's going to get corrected. All I'm doing is telling Stanley through this easy correction, that's the wrong thing to do. You don't make eye contact with my dog and start trouble. I'm going to test Stanley by backing away and see if he decides to follow me. Good job. That's a good boy. So what I want to do now, I'm going to ease my way into another dog and see what Stanley does. Stanley's paying too much attention to that dog, not enough to me. All I did is make an easy correction by making a right about, or an about face, whatever you choose. So we're going to let him get worked up a second, and then we're going to bring his brain back to me. And I'm going to step forward and bring him back. So when I do this, Stein, I want Stanley to say, okay, forget it. When Stanley looks, I'm going to make these easy corrections over here. And I want to guide Stanley. So now we have Stanley between two dogs. We're going to say, okay, go ahead and make the mistakes that you want to make, and we're going to tell you if it's right or wrong. Iko, come on. Come on, check. So if you remember before, Stanley was trying to go after Iko. What I want to teach Stanley is no, you can't go after Iko. You have to respect space. So now what we're seeing is Stanley says, okay, you are in charge. So not only are you in charge of me, but you're in charge of all these other dogs. So you must be a great, strong leader. Good job. Just like I correct Stanley, I want him to know when he's doing the correct thing for me. How do I do that? No food, no clicker, no toys. His only reward is this. Good job. So when he pleases me, that should be the best thing that he can have. Once this foundation is set and this dog starts focusing on me, I would then have the owner come in and start the foundation that I said earlier on Stanley. This dog doesn't know me, he doesn't love me, but he respects me. So what I want from every dog and every owner is respect. When you combine the respect of your dog with the love, you have everything. You have this.